Hello, welcome to the Alone Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Alone. In this episode, I brought on regular Eric Taylor.
What's up?
Finally, about time. It's been
Finally,
ages.
8. When
Yeah,
was the
it's been
last?
ages.
It's been like a month, hasn't it?
Yeah, but that was the other thing, you know?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm back.
Cool, cool. So, as for our guest, he's from Manchester, but currently somewhere in London. He's currently living in London. He's an English teacher, comedian, podcaster, and writer. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Joe Walsh.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So, how is life?
How is life? Life is a little stressful right now. My wife and I are currently getting ready to move. We've had a lot of mold issues in our apartment in London, and so we're doing our best to kind of move apartments. So it's we've been trying to get people into our apartment, take over the contract, and then try and find a new place. But our new place looks like it has a pool, so we're very excited.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's great to hear. And I'm not gonna lie. I had a teacher named Mr. Walsh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It was in middle school, but I don't
Okay.
know.
How do you feel about Mr. Walsh? Like, what are your feelings towards him?
He was a good teacher. I
Okay,
don't.
that's good.
Yeah. He was
All
a he
right.
was a he was a great teacher actually.
Well, that makes sense. You know, it's got a good name, so.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And what did he teach in middle school? In middle school, is it the
I
case
don't.
that there are specific subjects teachers teach, or
Uh,
each teacher
well,
teaches
he
everything?
he was an English teacher. He was
He
yeah.
was an English teacher. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Maybe he's my long lost father. Maybe he's my real father. You know.
Yeah.
my
He
da-
was.
my my supposed dad is an accountant, so I guess like who
Oh.
knows?
Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. But yeah, maybe.
Maybe you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what you been up to this week
What
besides moving whatnot?
moving and whatnot. So this week, I've been focusing on helping students prepare for their upcoming exam. So that's fun. And then yeah, just booking stand-up gigs and preparing. We are a group of us called the Midnight Snack. We have a radio. Well, yeah, we have a radio play podcast called the Midnight Snack and Other Mysteries, and we're just starting to write season 2. So I've just been getting fingers to the keyboard and preparing for season 2.
Oh, season 2. Did you just start the? Did you? Is a podcast new?
I wouldn't say it's new. It came out. I mean, originally we started writing in the here in the UK in the third lockdown, the winter lockdown, which was a rough time. And that we managed to write and produce that, and that came out in the summer 2021. No, yeah, summer 2021, and then a year later we actually performed. We adapted it into a full-on play, and we managed to get that performed in the Camden Fringe Festival, and then we've put it on again just a month ago or so. But now we're starting to write season 2 and get some new ideas down.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool.
Mm.
That's great to hear, man. I'm
Thank you.
happy for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Anytime, anytime. So, like, why did you decide to become a stand-up comedian? What inspired that?
What inspired that? Well, I just thought, you know what? I get paid so well at my job. I need to pursue something that pays terribly. No, it's honest. Maybe because I'm a narcissist and I think I'm funny. I don't know. I think there's something really fun when you can connect with an audience, and I really enjoy laughing with people, and I really enjoy. I just think there's something very kind of connecting as about having a laugh together. I think that's more of an English phrase. I don't know if you say that in the US, but to have a laugh, and I there's something that just I don't know makes me very happy, and so I very much enjoy the moments in stand up where you really connect with the the audience, and it's more off the cuff stuff, but when you're just kind of laughing together at something, either it's a mistake I've made or even a joke that I find funny and the audience finds funny, and I find it quite exhilarating, to be honest.
All right. Well, that's great. Well, that's great to hear. And yeah, I think I, I don't really know if have a lot. I'm pretty sure I've said that probably a couple times in my life, but I'm not really
Oh.
sure about anybody else. You know, but yeah, I know I've probably said that like a couple times in my life. Maybe not as much, but a couple of times.
Oh,
And,
okay. You're
and
just more cultured, Derek. That's why.
okay. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, you have any questions for him?
Yeah. I've also heard you're an English teacher as well.
There's a rumor. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How did that come about? Just
Oh,
wondering.
okay. Um, so I lived in Italy for a few years when I was doing some charity work for my church, and I started teaching English as a language. And having lived in Italy, I kind of started to learn Italian, and I started to really grow a strong kind of fondness for learning languages. And from there, I just started like teaching English as like a part-time job. So that either this was online to like uh, Chinese students or Japanese students, and yeah, and I went to university and so on and so on. I've kind of always enjoyed being a teacher, or sorry, I've always enjoyed teaching, I should say. Um, and so I just thought that would be a good kind of profession to go into. And I've always enjoyed languages, and unfortunately, there's not that many Italian teaching jobs, and so I just went for the second language that I'm confident in, and in English was one of them. And from there, really, I've kind of started to develop a career.
Okay, got you. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie. The last teacher I interviewed, she was from Germany. She said she didn't like it.
Yeah,
I was like,
I would say 90% of teachers are like that. I
yeah,
think, yeah, it's a very, I mean, it kind of depends on like who you teach and stuff like that, but it's a very socially draining job. Like, I mean, I don't know why I think I'm funny, because I honestly tell these jokes to students, and anything that I think is remotely funny, nothing. But what they do enjoy is when you rip into them and you treat them like brats. That was something I learned 6 months into teaching. Is that before that I was really really nice to my students and very kind and very like, just trying to treat them very nice and things like that, and they just never responded well and whatever. And then about 6 months in, I think I just cracked, and I just flipped, and I just started treating them like brats. Not obviously super abusive. I couldn't go to jail or anything like that, but you just kind of, you're very sarcastic with them. If they do something stupid, you kind of point it out and make fun of them. And honestly, they just love it. They lap it up. I don't know why, but they really, really enjoy it when you treat them like brats. So that part of the job is fun for sure.
okay, got you. And
Oh, great. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, uh, yeah. So like before you started teaching, before you started doing stand up
Mm.
comedy, have you ever seen yourself doing anything else with your life, like from when you were a kid or a teenager?
Well, yeah. Before all that, I wanted to be an actor. Again, just narcissistic tendencies, really. But I remember at school. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up never really being very good at anything. I was never very sporty. I mean, I liked sports, but I was just never good at it, kind of thing. Your friends would, be really good at football, and I'd trip over the ball, kind of thing. But I enjoyed it. Um, and I just remember one day in drama class when I was about 11 or 12, they asked for volunteers to kind of read the script. I put my hand up. I don't know why I did, and I kind of performed the script, improvised a little bit, and I got this like kind of, I guess that was my first performance really. I got this like, the whole class kind of clapped, and I just remember feeling this rush and feeling good at something. And so from there, for like a good 8 years, yeah, 8 years, I kind of really wanted to be an actor. But I think to truthfully be told, I chickened out. I kind of felt, you know what, it's too hard to get into the industry. It's best to go with a safe job, and I went down the safe job kind of route, which I semi regret right now. But there you go.
Why do you semi regret it?
I think that I mean, I'm not saying I would have made it, but I think there's it's good to chase your dreams. And I think if they don't work out, you've got that kind of what's the word, closure, that it just wasn't meant to be. But I think when you don't go for, when you don't follow your heart, to be cliche, you'll always feel a little bit restricted, perhaps, in your life decisions and things like that.
Okay. I mean, well, all I'm gonna say is this. Well, I mean, look, I mean, if you have a dream, you should just ultimately believe in yourself, because like at the end of the day, no one else is gonna believe in you. So I mean,
Mm.
if you're,
You don't believe in me, Eric? That's offensive.
I didn't mean
How
it like
dare you?
Yeah, wow,
that.
that's all I'm hearing here.
I mean,
That's just low, mate. That's yeah.
I didn't mean it like that, but like I mean,
No.
I don't know you personally, but it's like I mean, I believe in you because I know
Thanks,
you
Eric.
now, but yeah, like, it, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Like
No, I
I believe.
apologize, Eric. I cut you off. Well, it was very sentimental what you were saying, but I will say this though. But because of that slight regret, it has pushed me on to do other things. It pushed me on to kind of pursue podcasting, which I do with my brother, which is good fun. And it pushed me on to try stand up, and I really really enjoy that, and pushed me on with other creative things, and to kind of really kind of pursue my passions, and just have fun with it. And so I completely agree. There if you want to do something, you should go with it with some kind of measurement, but and if you've missed out, then use that as fuel to go for something else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was trying to. That's what I was trying to like say. Like, yeah, if you have something else like that you want to do, then do that.
mm.
Pretty much. But yeah. I mean, yeah. Like whatever you want to do in the future. I wish you luck. I really do.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. I feel like I've literally all I've got on my screen is your name, Eric Taylor, and but you're going to be my guardian angel from now on, Eric. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that too. Thank you.
Very sweet.
Would you rather have extra fingers or extra toes?
That was the logical next question, wasn't it? Um, Extra fingers or extra toes? I
Yep.
think I do think extra toes. I think extra fingers would get in the way. You know, for
Yeah.
example, you're cutting scissors. Cutting scissors. You're cutting with scissors. You're just not going to be able to wrap around your fingers so well. Um, you know, holding hands, that's awkward. You're gonna have like two fingers flopping about. You don't want that. Whereas extra toes, you just get bigger shoes. Which if you're a man, that can look good. And if anything, makes you better for running. So I would definitely go for extra toes.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I think you would need your shoes specially made, like for your feet, if you have extra toes too. Like you would have to.
Mm.
You would need. I think, like how many toes are we talking,
And
Jamie?
what kind of toes are we talking about? Are we talking about like three extra big toes? Because little toes you can get away with, I think, depending where
Yeah,
you're planted. But
yeah. How
three
many?
extra big toes, that's a whole different story.
Yeah,
I
how
mean,
many
that's
toes
like
we? Oh, I'm sorry.
no. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jamie. How many toes we talking?
That's a very good question because I never specify how many extra toes. It's just saying, would you rather have extra toes
Mm.
or extra fingers?
And is
I
there
never
a
said how
difference
many.
between the extra toes and the extra fingers? Like, is it five extra fingers and only two extra toes, or?
No, it's not that many. It seems a bit drastic, but yeah, it could be anything. But as long as it isn't too inconvenient, it's perfectly fine.
Okay, I'll go for one extra toe on my left foot. That's
Okay.
what I'll go for.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Has there ever been a job that you hated going to before?
Uh, I love the correlation between these questions. Um, has there ever been a job that I've hated going to?
Yeah.
I have been lucky in the sense that no, I've never been a job that I've hated going to. There's been times it's been difficult to wake up in the morning. I think sometimes like teaching is very draining, and when it gets very very kind of stressful. We have something in the UK called Ofsted, which is a board from the government that inspects your schools to monitor it and so on and so on. So when they come, that can be very very stressful. But thankfully, no, never hated. The last time I ever hated going somewhere was when I had a teacher who in school, obviously, that would be weird if it weren't. A teacher who I feared, I absolutely feared. Her name was Mrs. Barraclough, and she shouted at me once when I was like 11, and she just blasted me for nothing basically. And ever since then, I was always afraid to go into a class.
Oh, wow.
And it got to the point where I got so I guess I just developed anxiety. I didn't realize it. It got to the point where I just developed this like dread the night before. But yeah, and I hadn't, and it was like this was like the last week before a project was due, but it was going to also be the last lesson I ever had with her. And thankfully, I ended up being sick that day, and I just remember just feeling over the moon that I was sick. And my mom, who is a nurse and usually didn't let me get away with anything, she was, I don't know, angels had in like interfered and softened her heart, and she let me off that day. And yeah, I just remember being absolutely over the joy playing my PlayStation 2, playing FIFA at the time, whilst I should have been at school in this horrible class. But that's the only time I've really hated getting up for something. But thankfully, I've never had a job where I've hated it.
Oh, does anybody really like school? If I'm being honest.
I think there was like not liking school, but that I had genuine anxiety about going to that particular class.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
Reasonable. That's reasonable. I get that.
Yeah, I will say though, I did have a job where I used to work at Build-A-Bear factory. I only worked there for like 6 weeks, and they made me wear this teddy bear backpack. So sorry, I apologize. It was like a teddy bear that you strap to your back. It wasn't it wasn't a backpack with a picture of a teddy bear. It was actually a teddy bear backpack. And they made me it was Christmas time, and they had this like reindeer on skates with a leash, and they made me walk around, not inside the shop but outside in the shopping center, or the mall, I think you call it in the US, handing out leaflets. I didn't enjoy that. And whenever I tried to take off my teddy bear backpack, my manager, he was like, I don't know, he's like 34, just this white, like kind of very skinny little man, used to like threaten me to fire me and make me wear it again. And I just, in my head, I was like, why are you making me wear this? Why are you wearing this? Like, have you no respect for yourself? So I remember not enjoying that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound enjoyable at all. Yeah, no. If I had to, wear a backpack like that, I wouldn't enjoy that at all. Like, this does not sound good. It just sounds humiliating, actually. Especially if your friends just like walk in.
Yeah, I was afraid of that, but thankfully, well, I worked with a friend, but never got that bad.
Yeah, like imagine if you had a girlfriend, you just walked into.
Yeah, yeah. For some reason, I didn't have any girlfriends at that particular point in time. So there you go.
Oh yeah, why don't right now? So I mean, it's just yeah. I mean, I want one, but I'm not trying.
Right.
So it's like I'm not. Yeah, but
just taking it slow.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Should have done that. Should have kind of. I feel like I should have done that in high school. Then but I'll do that. I'll do that later when I. Yeah. When I pretty much have something going on, it's like I have nothing going on, and there's nothing worse than dating when you have nothing going on.
Yeah, it's true. It's good to kind of focus on yourself first. Build yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah. So like that's pretty much the whole thing with me going on right now.
Nice.
But that's about it for me though. But John, man, I gotta help this guy with something. I gotta go. All right.
All right, sounds good.
All right, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, lovely to meet you too, Eric. Take care.
All right, and remember, believe in yourself. For me.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate that.
Anytime. All right, take it easy and stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
What habit do you find yourself doing without even thinking about it?
Breathing. I'm sure you get that.
Yeah.
What? Good
habit
or
or bad
bad
habit?
habit? Just any.
Any habit will do.
Any habit will do. My worst habit that I find myself doing is picking at my nails. Especially when I'm stressed. Well, no, when I'm stressed, that's what I do. So that's a really really bad. I'll kind of find myself picking at nails. Um, yeah, I do you know my wife pointed out a few actually. I did not realize this until she pointed out, but apparently when a song finishes, I have this habit of singing it again, just like the last the chorus or whatever. And I never knew I did that, but apparently that's what I do, and I'd imagine that it's quite annoying to anyone who has to listen to that, I'm afraid. So that's a secret habit that I didn't realize I had.
Yeah, yeah. I actually do that at times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but when I do it, I'm fully aware of it.
Oh,
Not
it's
not
a
just
it's
not
a
just not
very conscious
yeah,
choice. Yeah. Okay. And
exactly.
do you belt the song? Do you go for it?
Yeah, I go for it.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, go big or go home. So what is your favorite food?
My favorite food. I have always been a pizza boy. I've always enjoyed kind of bread. I mean, I even when I was like a baby or a toddler, I had bread in my hand. But I've always loved pizza. It's just I find it very very comforting, and it's just a good, solid, reliable taste. And I was very lucky to live in Italy for 3 years and just had the best pizza. But I'll take crappy like kebab shop pizza that's basically just fried cheese on bread. And I'll take fully exquisite, incredible, handmade with love in the mountains of Italy kind of pizza as well. Just any kind of pizza. That's my thing.
Okay, cool. So, given your love for pizza, is that the reason why you moved to Italy to do charity work?
That was that was a benefit. It was for my church, so I offered to kind of do some voluntary work, and they kind of decide where you go, and they gave me the opportunity to go to Italy. So I was there for 2 years in the north of Italy, and then I studied Italian at university, and I was able to go back to Italy to do a year abroad, and that's where I spent 9 months in Sicily. So I was very very lucky to kind of get to know the north and south of Italy and enjoy its many delicacies.
Fabulous.
That's what I said.
Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
20. Oh gosh. All right. It's job interview. Okay. 20 years. How old will I be? I'll be 50. That's not fair. Hopefully I'll have moved apartment by then. Um, Gosh, 20 years. Oh gosh, wow. You've really sent me into an existential crisis. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh my
Usually it's
god.
like 5. Usually it's a bit more foreseeable. 20 years is a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Gosh. I hope that as much as I love teaching, I'd like to find a more creative outlet for a job. So I hope that I'm in a position where I've at least done that, or are still doing that, or perhaps working in that kind of field. I'd love to have kids. I'm a big believer in the importance of relationships, and that's not very groundbreaking. But what I meant to say is that in your 20s you can get a little lost in focusing on yourself, and it is a very good time to do that, but it's also a very very important time to build long solid relationships as well. And so I really really want a family, and I'm blessed with an incredible wife. um but yeah, I would like to add kids to that as well. So 50, hopefully I've got 1, 2, or 3, or 4, maybe 100 kids. I don't know, depends how it goes. Yeah, and hopefully in a kind of a better living condition as well. And let's hope the economy still survives in 20 years time, and there's not another virus or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think after the pandemic, it's a bit hard to think that far ahead, isn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the best excuse for being late that you've heard or used?
Oh, that's a good. Do you know that's a good one because I hear excuses for being late all the time from students. I mean, to be fair, these days it's just it's just the tube strikes or whatever. Which it's tube strikes when there hasn't actually been a tube strike for a while. It's train strikes now. Best excuse for being late. Oh gosh. Oh, I can't think. Oh dear. I think it's when you hear people who get up super early and they just have everything terrible happen to them. So like the car won't start, and then the train breaks down, and then they realize they've forgotten their trousers or whatever, and they have to go back or something like that. So I can't think of something specific right now, but I'm actually quite a softie when it comes to my students and being late. I genuinely don't care actually. I'm just glad that they're in class.
Oh, fair enough. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. What item has drastically improved your life?
What items drastically improved my life? Oh gosh,
Hmm.
wow. Glasses. Yeah, glasses. I didn't wear glasses. I mean, I've needed glasses since I was 14, and I never liked the look of them on my face. And I think I was when I was prescribed glasses. Glasses was I still had this perception of if you wore glasses, you were a nerd kind of thing, and they were for nerdy people. And I already had braces, and I was already very kind of mousy as a young teenager, and so I just thought, oh, this was complete the luck, and I really wanted to avoid them, so I did as much as I could. But naturally, I couldn't see, so and I got to the point where I just couldn't see anything. I couldn't see like the train times or my girlfriend at the time, which can be dangerous. Um, and so I just decided to get glasses, and I just remember putting on those glasses for the first time and just being able to see and just like, oh, the world was beautiful. It was fully HD. The colors were bright. It wasn't blurry. So I would go with glasses to correct my poor vision.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh, are you a glasses wearer as well?
Oh no, I'm not. It's seeing the world from my own eyes, however.
Oh right, okay, sure. Fair enough.
Yeah. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, Joe, talking
Yeah,
about
thank
your
you.
career as a comedian, a podcaster, working as a teacher, your church charity event in Italy. Wow, it's been very eventful this episode.
We've been all over. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Great. Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And until next time, stay tuned for more.